Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? We are here for Fun Friday, but I'm also going to hit you with some facts on the current state of where we are with finances and renters and minimum wage and all that cool stuff. It's not cool, but it's kind of scary for anyone who is in this position. And may be experiencing that they cannot afford rent because they are a minimum wage employee. So before we get too far into it, I am Nishaya Richardson, financial coach for women, showing them how to earn more, spend less, and save aggressively. But guys, let's get right into this because I saw this article and I'm actually going to pop it up on the screen. The other day, it says recent housing reports reveal that full-time minimum wage employees are unable to afford rent anywhere in the US. How scary is that, right? How scary is that? So, first, you ask the question of why is that, right? Why is it that minimum wage employees cannot afford rent? Is it because of inflation? Is it because of the pandemic and so many people were not paying their rent? So now the landlords had to raise the prices of their rent. What could it be? I don't really know. I did read the article and it was quite interesting. And I'm actually going to pull some information from it so that I can educate you on it, and then also talk about how all of this stuff connects to our four challenges that we face already. And then, there's always a solution to it, but we have to get past the problem so that we can get to the solution. Good morning, Shirley. How are you today? Yes, yes, yes. And I hope you have your hoops on, Shirley. It is Friday. But yes, so this article actually came from the National Low Income Housing Coalition. It's their annual Out of Reach report. And basically, what they're saying is that people who are working a minimum wage job, full-time minimum wage job, cannot afford a two-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States. Guys, that's crazy. How is it that we are in a position where someone who is making minimum wage cannot afford an apartment anywhere in the United States? And guys, it also then leads into one bedroom apartments because you're like, oh, well, maybe they can just get a one bedroom, turn their living room into another bedroom and just kind of make it work. But also in that same report, 93% cannot afford a one bedroom apartment. So, it doesn't get any better because they went from a two bedroom to a one bedroom. And the minimum wage that they're referring to in this article is based on someone who this year is making $24.90 per hour cannot afford a two bedroom. And someone who's making $20.40 per hour cannot afford a one bedroom. And that's actually an increase from last year. So if someone who is making $24 an hour cannot afford a two bedroom, how is it that they are going to live a valuable, comfortable life? People go home and they want to be in their space where they are comfortable and not stressed. But because we or they cannot find jobs that is not willing to pay them more than $24.96 an hour, there is now a struggle to find a home or an apartment that is affordable. And when we say affordable, that's about 30% of your income. So if you are renting or you're a homeowner, take a look at what you're bringing in, your income, right? And then also look at your housing expenses, whether that is rent or mortgage. It should not be more than 30% of your income. And that is the same statistics that they are using for this article here. Hey, Marcia, how are you? That is the same statistics they're using for this article right here. And guys, this is also connected to inflation. So let's think about this. If you or we cannot afford our rent because we're making $24 an hour, how is it that we can afford all the other goods and services that are increasing in prices at a rate that we can't even keep up with? There was an article that I saw the other day that showed that inflation was like sky high. So rental cars was at like 87%. Airplane, the air travel. There was something else that was at like 24%. Milk was at like 5% inflation. Basic things like gas and fish and things like that was up at 8%. So if your income is not increasing faster than that rate, the value of our dollar is decreasing. So a lot of times our employer will give us a 2 to 3% increase or raise each year, but that's not even keeping up with inflation or the housing costs, right? So what is it that we can do to outpace that? Well, you guys know what that is. That is having a home-based business, because it gives us the opportunity to make unlimited income. So if you are someone who is in that position right now where you're in that minimum wage range, where you're at the $24.96, and you are in a person who is renting or has a home that they need to buy, and can't afford it because you're not making enough money, well, now it is time to position ourselves to where we can control how much income we are bringing in. And that is with a home-based business. Because if our employers are going to keep us at certain rates and only give us a minimum increase on our pay, then we have to position ourselves to be in control of that. Because there is no reason why full-time minimum wage employees cannot afford a 2-bedroom apartment when we all live in the same country, right? So we would think that our employers would position us so that we can all live a comfortable life, a valuable life, but that is not it. Guys, employers are businesses. They have to look at their overhead. If they cannot afford to pay you more than $24.96, they are not going to pay you more than $24.96. So again, that is why we have to position ourselves so that we can control how much income is coming into our household. It is okay to keep your job, right? No one says don't have a job, but at the same time, put yourself in a position where you have additional income coming in. And I also want to point out something else that was in that article that said that the average minimum wage worker in the United States would need to work nearly 97 hours per week to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, come on. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have 97 hours a week to go into a job to work so that I can afford rent. If you have 97 hours, just put a 1 in the comment, because I really want to know how your life is looking. Do you have any quality of life? Because I know when I was working 2 jobs and I was working 40 hours at my full-time job, and then I had a part-time job where I was working 16 hours on the weekend, that was 56, and I could barely function. Guys. So how is it that they think that someone can work 97 hours just so that they can be able to afford their rent, which is a necessity? So because I position myself to have a home-based business and control my income and actually start using some financial strategies and principles that our organization is teaching, I was able to get rid of that part-time job. I can afford my mortgage without stress. And I'm not in a position where I ever have to go back to work and work more than 40 hours if I choose not to. So if you are ready to position yourself to not have to worry about whether you can afford that 2-bedroom or that 1-bedroom apartment, to not have to worry about working more than 40 hours at a job just so that you can live comfortably, to not have to worry about, man, the value of my dollar is decreasing and my employer is not giving me a raise at the same rate of inflation, what am I going to do? Then it is time that you start your home-based business today. Because like I said, we can control the amount of income that we are bringing into our household, and we can control the amount of hours that we're working. If you want to put 16 hours a week into your home-based business, you can do that. But if you want to put 5 in and still get the results, we could do that too. But either way, I just think it's crazy that we're in this position now where people cannot afford to pay their rent because they are at minimum wage. And to be honest with you, those rates for minimum wage, I don't know about where they're referring to in the United States, but no one in New York that I know make $24 an hour as a minimum wage employee. So if you know someone who makes that much and they're considered minimum wage, please let me know, because I'm very interested to see what city and state that is in, because that is not a minimum wage employee salary. So that also shows you that we are in a really bad space, because minimum wage is not $24.96. So which means people are being roommates, they're trying to figure this out, or they're just in a really bad space, or they're spending more than 30% of their income towards their housing expenses, which means now they have less money for their other expenses. But guys, I have to get out of here. But this was an eye-opener for me, because I did not realize how crazy it was, the state that we were in. But we have two awesome things going on today. At 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are doing a full breakdown on how to position yourself in a home-based business, also how to use strategies and principles to get a complete financial makeover to help you make, save, and grow your money. And one of them is at 12:30 p.m. And then tonight at 7:30, it is me and my business partner, Trevor Martin. It is going to be, as they say, lit. Guys, you know I love sharing information, and I'll be partnered with Trevor, who knows all the facts. He's a ton of fun, and both of us are helping tons of families, start their complete financial makeover so they can get out of this rat race and get out of this space where they're struggling and trying to figure out how they can pay their rent, trying to figure out how they can pay their bills, trying to figure out how they can actually start building some wealth, and actually get in a position where we are turning that around and, just doing things differently than what we have always done them. So guys, today at 12:30 p.m., one of my business partners is going to be breaking it down, but at 7:30, it's going to be me and Mr. Martin. We're going to be breaking down the information, and the site is howtoincreaseyourcashflow.com, and that is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After this is over, I will type it in the comments, but if for whatever reason you missed the comments, just message me and I will get you the information directly. But guys, please have an awesome day. Stay safe. Have an amazing weekend. Ladies, wear your hoops because it's Friday. And I plan to see everyone tonight at 7:30, right? So you can get a full breakdown on this information. And we can also get you started with your home-based business so that you can position yourself to make unlimited income and not ever have to worry about whether or not you can afford to pay your rent or your mortgage because you're only making minimum wage, right? Yes. So guys, please have an awesome day. Stay safe, and I'll be back on Monday. Yes, Shirley, have an awesome weekend too. Later.